Rightio, making a return to the YouTube space with plans to actually do this and make content on a regular basis for once. My Polo, in the last video 12 plus months ago, was having dramas. 12 plus months in the future, it's still having dramas. Currently, no gearbox. Let's talk about it. So, no gearbox. And if you look down on the ground here, there it is. Let's talk about what actually happened. Clutches and flywheels and clutches and flywheels. The never-ending battle of trying to make a 5-speed hold big power in Australia, something never really anticipated to happen. Now, if you'll recall in the last video I made, I was talking about having a drama with a breaking up issue and this noise from the exhaust that was just hesitating all the time. Now, although a good clutch and flywheel setup, this twin plate clutch from CG Motorsports, something about the billet lightened flywheel, single mass conversion, didn't agree with the TDI. It just wouldn't do it. It's just not heavy enough for a diesel engine. And this clutch was what was causing me all the dramas with the hesitation. From there, I jumped to a off-the-shelf, just cheap, eBay spec clutch and flywheel setup, which you see here. And as you can tell by the heat spots on it, I burnt that thing out instantly. Second gear onwards, clutch slipping, couldn't handle the torque. From there, I jumped over to a PTB clutch, and I'm actually still not quite too sure what happened with this one, but also didn't really work for me. Personally, I had dramas with the PTB clutch not disengaging fully, which has led to this, a transmission with no first gear. Is it PTB's fault, or the gearbox fault, or my poor shift? I don't really know, but at this point in time, the PTB clutch is not going back into the car. So what are the plans for the silver Polo that has been sitting on jack stands for almost 13 months now at 3 different houses? Well, funnily enough, the engine and gearbox out of this car actually featured in a full boost video, and it featured a VR6 clutch, which is what I anticipate to put back in with that tune. Lower the power a little bit and hope for the best, that I can get at least a 10,000 Ks to 100 drag runs, which is what that old setup did before it started slipping in 5th gear. So yes, currently I am waiting for a clutch and pressure plate to rock up. I'll get my flywheel machined, slap it back in with a new gearbox, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we can go finish the tune off and then this car is back and ripping again. Although to be genuinely honest, my expectations are low. As you can see by the roof of the car, she's just been sitting here for ages. And I think, I don't know, it just seems to be a common recurring theme. But my God, will it be rewarding when I finally get it out of here and rolling back on the road and rolling coal. So then, if the Polo's been on jack stands for so long, what is my daily? Right behind me is my 1.9 Polo with a big turbo, front mounted intercooler, and basically a working functional setup. So what are the details on this car? Well, a bit like my silver Polo, full GTI interior seats, including steering wheel and shift knob. The sun is shining through the tint, and as you can see, very, very dark tint. We have 5% back and sides, 15 on the front. GTI wheels with Falcon tires that love to do big, big skids. A 2.5-inch straight piped exhaust with just this muffler here at the back. We even have an Apple CarPlay head unit and all the silver trim out of a GTI. A boost gauge that confirms the fact that this car makes 20 PSI of boost. And arguably the coolest and most important part of the car, nearly 300,000 kilometers on the original engine and gearbox. And no, that check engine light isn't on for anything, it is because the ignition is off. No lights on the dash once it's running. And as you can see, that tint is dark. Headliner is starting to get a bit sad though. So what are my intentions with this car? Well, for now, it's just going to be a comfortable and reliable daily that I'm going to clock as many kilometers as I can on it, while it is decently quick and still consumes at least 5 liters per 100 when I commute with it. And I'm just going to see what sort of Ks we can get out of this engine with a big turbo on it.
Yep, this one also has a big AirTech front mount intercooler.
But yes, coming up on near 300,000 kilometers, there are some maintenance items that I want to address at the next service, which I plan to make a video on. So I guess that leaves us with a clutch hopefully coming for this car soon and getting this thing back on the road. hopefully some service items and maintenance items coming up for the other Polo to keep that thing running in tip-top condition, and videos of it all. Once this thing is all back up and running again, I anticipate to take it to the drag strip and try and beat the previous best time that this engine and the gearbox that is actually outside at the moment has ran. Anyone with a keen eye may have noticed I have 2 spare 1.9 TDI motors in the background. These are both AXR codes, same as both of my Polos, and good just generally to have a spare laying around. I am planning to pull one of these engines apart because I've never pulled a motor to pieces, and I plan to strip it down and video the entire process and my findings as someone who has never done it before. Now, if that is some content that you'd be interested in seeing, please let me know, because it is something that I'm actually quite keen to do and wouldn't mind diving into at some stage in the near future. But look, to be honest, I think for now, that's pretty much going to wrap up this video. I've said all I need to say it and explained everything that's coming. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'm looking forward to some content of me working on cars and doing car related stuff and just filming general day-to-day life situations. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video.